I'm recording this. So let me get this now. So the question is, what was the day with the highest traffic? These are the days. So if you look at this graphic, it tells you, okay, this is the day. So you hover over that and it'll give you the day. That's your answer. August 4th, in this particular case, of the data range. This has to be correct, because if you don't have the data range correct, you're not going to get the right answers.
Can you use question number 9?
Question number 9. Let me see. What's question number 9? Question number 9. How many new visitors versus returning visitors, correct?
Yes, that one.
Okay, so anything that has to do with the user, you'll find it under audience.
I was confused, like, can we use it, the one that the graph on the right hand side?
Let me see. It depends on what I'm asking. New visitors versus returning visitors. Oh yeah, but it gives you percentage here.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me see if you, let me
so
see.
Like when you kick out, you can see that the
Oh, that's 10. Yeah, 10, 7, 4, 4. So another way to do it is to come here, behavior. It should be the same results. So you can get from the graphic by put your cursor there. Yes, you can get from the graphic because you give, but another way to do it is right here, behavior, new versus returning.
Okay, I think I get it now.
Okay, and I have the recording from last week or the week before. I have 2 recordings actually showing how to do this. So just make sure that you have the right thing that you want to check, demo account, UA, Google Analytics, because if you get this, you're not going to get the results that you want. And then the first one, the master view. And that's basically what I have showing here.
Let me see what I get. One master view, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, one master view. So make sure that you have that.
Yeah, that's what popped up. Okay.
Okay. If you have that already done first time, it'll stay as a default. But it's always good to go back and check to make sure that you have the right. And another thing very important is to have the right data range that I'm asking for.
Okay. Now, how come we only get 30 minutes to complete this?
It's only 30 minutes.
That's what it said. It was timed and we can't go back to it. Once we start, we have to finish.
Okay, no. Let me change that to an hour at least.
Okay. And not only that, it starts at 29 or 30. I clicked on it earlier today just to see what would come up, and I had to click right out.
Okay. Okay, I will change that to 1 hour at least. Or probably a little more.
Yeah, because we got to go back and forth between the chart and the...
No, I don't know why. It's probably the fault, but you know, I usually give at least 1 hour.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened there. Probably I forgot to change that. Okay, let me see here. I'll change it now before I forget.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you an hour and a half.
Okay.
You should be able to complete in half an hour, but an hour and a half is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions on this?
No, I thank you very much. That was helpful.
Okay, what I advise you to do, Brian and everybody else, take that Word document, and before you go to the test, do the Word document a couple of times to make sure that you know exactly where to find all the answers. practice. And once you feel comfortable, then go do the test. But don't start doing the test before you at least go over once on that Word document. Because the Word document has probably very similar questions that I'm asking on the final test. Okay, so let's go over what I'm planning to. So today we're going to be talking about paid search. I'll start right here.
Professor, hi, Percio. I've been having a lot of issues with my connection, so I've been a little bit lost, but I'm trying to,
Yeah, I'm recording this, so if anything happens, then you have a chance. So I'm going to make a note to myself, so don't forget to put the recordings online for you guys.
Okay, that will be very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
How do we access the recordings?
It should be right on MyCC. So let me go back to MyCC.
Do you think it's possible to have access to those PowerPoint presentations?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I actually have already some there, and I'll put the rest there. So if you go, let me see, I'll change the view again to make sure that you know. And I think that if you go to the main page here, it should have class presentations are right here. Now the recordings, where are the recordings? Probably I don't have the recordings there, but I'll put the recordings there over the weekend.
I will be waiting. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go over this. No, that's not what I want to do. This is the one. Okay. So today we're going to talk about search engine advertising. That's almost a continuation of what we did for SEO. So it's all about keywords. So we'll go and talk a little bit about that. So what is search engine marketing? Search engine marketing, it's also known by search advertising or internet search advertising or online search advertising. Some people also call PPC advertising. What that means is pay-per-click advertising. And the reason they call pay-per-click because you as a company that advertises on Google, you only pay when somebody clicks on your ad. That's why they call pay-per-click. It allows you to display your advertising to people they are on Google doing some search. So search engine marketing, the way it works, like say, if you do SEO on your website, for example, and as I mentioned to you, SEO sometimes takes time to implement it for you to see some results. So if you want people to go to your website right away and your SEO is still not giving the results that you want, doing paid search advertising, it's one way to do it. So SEO, search engine optimization, we talked about this like 2 weeks ago, takes some time to implement, but SEM, which is search engine marketing, allows to automatically starting to show up to some particular keywords that you're going to bid on. So advertisers who utilize search advertising show their ads to users who are actively searching for specific keywords on the internet. So this is why we call pay-per-click advertising. It's very effective because you are putting your ad to people that are actually looking using some keywords that are related to your business. So for example, if somebody is looking for casual shoes for men, you have two types of results on Google. You have on the top, which is the paid search, which is the Google Ads, and on the bottom, organic. So if, let's say, you are a company and you want your website to be showing on the first results if somebody uses the keyword casual shoes for men. If your SEO is not doing well, one way to do it is use paid search. If you use paid search, you are bidding on this keyword and your ad most likely will show here. So these two companies here are bidding on this keyword. That's the reason they are here. They say, okay, because you select the keywords that you want to show on Google search and you bid on them. And I'll show you how the process works. So let's go over how the process works.
Professor, may I say something?
Yeah.
When I do the search and I find some of those pay apps on the top,
Yeah.
I don't know if that is just my experience, but I never put attention to those.
Yeah, some people don't do so. They look exactly the same as the others. The only difference is they have the AD here.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to them either.
Yeah, some people, for some reason,
why I don't pay attention to that, because I in my mind this is just pay ad.
Yeah, it is paid ad, but yes, it's relevant to what you're looking for, because they are using keywords that you select. For example, if you are looking to buy casual shoes for men, they may have that product in a good price for you. So there's no problem for you to click on those ads, because Google wants to make sure that those ads are relevant to the keywords that you are putting there. Because if they're not relevant, Google is not going to show the advertising for them. So I'll go over that, because one of the things that Google wants to make sure that anybody that searches for a particular keyword, that Google is going to deliver them the most relevant content on the website, on the results. Could be content through organic means, like the ones that you see here, or paid search. They're both very relevant. The only difference is a company paid for those keywords. But I'm sure they are, if they show up here, they are relevant. They're probably selling casual shoes for men. They're not selling anything else. Because if they do, Google will know that it would not display their ads here. And usually companies, they are in the market. So there's no problem for you to click. But I know a lot of people are reluctant to click on those ads.
Yeah, the reason why I make that comment is because I am seeing it from the customer perspective of how they behave when they see something there that, people are a little bit.
I know that most people are reluctant when they see something that's paid, but there is nothing wrong, because as I mentioned, if you're looking for a particular product or service and those ads showed up, because they are providing those service on ads. So you probably should try, because you don't pay anything. The person that put those ads there will pay. See, let's say I use this keyword here and this showed up. The companies, these two companies, they will not pay anything unless I click on them, on one of the ads. If I don't click, they're not paying anything to appear. That's why that's called pay-per-click. It's a good way of advertising. So it's an auction-based system. So you're going to decide how much you want to spend per each click. And then depends who the competitors are for that particular keyword, your ad will show up or not. Let's say just because you say, okay, I'm going to spend $100 per each click, It doesn't mean that your ad will show up there. What it means is Google will see if the ad is relevant or not, and it'll show up. Let me show you how that works. Oops. So you got to select, when you do Google Ads, you got to do keyword research. You got to select which keywords you want to bid on. Once you make the decisions of the keywords that you wanted to bid on, you create your ad. And I'll show you how to create an ad at the end of today's lecture. So as I said, it's a bidding process. So each company will decide how much they're going to spend per each keyword. So they might have a list of 10 keywords they want to advertise, and they have to decide how much they want to spend per each click. So for example, we have here 4 companies. Now we're going to call this Mr. Green, Mrs. Red, Mrs. Orange, and Mr. Blue. And they all wanted to bid on this keyword here, casual shoes for men, because they are selling casual suit for men. So they all want to bid on this. So Mr. Green says, okay, I'm going to spend $4 per each click, no more than that. It doesn't mean that he's going to spend $4. He's saying this is the maximum I'm willing to spend if somebody clicks on my ad per each click. And Mrs. Reddy says, I'm only going to spend $3. I'm not going to spend $4. And this one just says $2. And the bottom one says $1. So if nothing else would enter in consideration, so this one will be shown in the first position on the top, and this one on the second, this one on the third. But as I mentioned, the ad in the product has to be relevant to the keyword, because if it's not, Google will not show, or probably if it's not that relevant, Google will not show that in the first position, regardless how much you want to bid for that thing. You can say, okay, I want to spend like $20 per each bid. But if your ad is not relevant, it's not going to be able to show. So let me show how that works. So that's why Google create what they call quality score. That means that's the quality of your advertising, the quality of the ad, the quality of the page. When you click, you end up on that page. That page has to be relevant to the keyword. So that's why Google call quality score. So Google actually knows each page that once you click on the ad, Google goes to the page and crosses the page and sees if that page is relevant to the keywords that that company is bidding on. So as I mentioned, Google is very obsessed. That's the #1 priority. Any keyword that somebody enters, Google wants to make sure that it has the results of content that's relevant to that keyword. Doesn't matter if it's paid content or organic content. If the content is not relevant, Google's not going to show that on the first page. So quality score is an algorithm that Google created to look at the relevance of the ad. It looks closer to keywords and the ad and also the landing page. And I'll show you what the landing page is. A landing page is when you click on the ad, on the Google result, it takes you to a page where you're trying to sell your product. That's what we call the landing page. And that page, as I mentioned, has to be relevant to the keyword. So click-through rate, I'll explain that what it is. So the quality score is based on the algorithms that reads this, the quality of a landing page, the relevance of the ad, and the click-through rate. The click-through rate is, for example, if your ad shows up like 100 times and only one person clicks on the ad, your click-through rate is 1%. So for Google, it's saying, okay, the ad is showing, but nobody's clicking there. So it's probably not relevant. So that's why the click-through rate is relevant. If the ad shows up like 100 times and there is like 20 people clicking on the ad, on that ad, the click-through rate is 20%. So Google assumes that, okay, the ad that's there is relevant to the click because people are clicking. And that's the way Google makes money. If nobody clicks there, Google doesn't make any money. So the click-through rate is important for Google. So all that creates a quality score that's from 1 to 10. So 1 means very bad quality score. 10 means the maximum. most of the times, if you get like a quality score of 6, 7, or 8, it's already very good. To get a quality score of 10, it's very difficult. But you know, if your ad is really relevant, maybe you'll get like 8, 9, or even 10 quality score. So the way the ad rank works is maximum bid times the quality score. So let's go here and see an example. Let's go back to our example, like Mr. Green says $4, Mrs. Ready $3, Mrs. Orange $2, and $1 here. Now Google looks at the quality score. So this is the position that without the quality score. Now the quality score. For example, the one on the top there, the quality score is very bad, 1. So 4 times 1, the ad rank is 4. So the second one, the quality score is getting a little better. So $3, $3 times 3, the quality score, it's 9. So the other one, oh, very good quality score, 6. So $2 times 6 equals 12. That's the ad rank. The bottom one, $1 times 8, a better quality score, but only $1. So the ad rank is 8. So the ad rank that you see here on the right is going to change the position on the how they appear on the search results. So this is the position. So the one that says I'm only going to spend $2 maximum, but because the quality score is very good, the ad rank is 12, better than anyone here. So it takes position 1 on the top of the list when you search for a word casual shoes for men. This one, the second position, this one, the third position, and the fourth maybe doesn't even show up because it's so bad, the quality score, that Google says, hey, this is not a good ad. I'm not going to show this. So this is the way it works. And then, as I mentioned, because you said I'm willing to pay $2 maximum, and this one $3, and this one per click, doesn't mean that you're going to pay that. Usually, you know, for example, 2, 3, 1, and 4, it might end up paying 1.1 per each click. And then the second one, 1.05, $1, and then 95 cents. This is the way usually. So the better your quality score, the better chances your ad is to appear on the first result, and you end up paying a lot less than whatever you said you're going to pay.
I don't understand. Why would you pay less than what you bid?
Because Google has some algorithm and is going to say what's the competition there. So you could pay $2. That's the maximum, but sometimes you pay less than that. That's what I mean. Depends on the competition, how much they're bidding, and or what's the quality score of the competition.
So it's basically set up like an open auction.
Exactly. You just decide that's the maximum I'm going to bid for each keyword. So you do that for every keyword. Like say, if you do a campaign and you have like 10 keywords, you decide, okay, for this keyword, I'm just going to spend $4. For that one, $3 or cents, whatever. There's no maximum or minimum. You can say, I'm only going to spend 50 cents per each click. Then depends on your competition, your ad might show up or not. And depends also on the quality score of your full campaign. So this is what works. It's always good to start, when you first start, sometimes you have to spend a little more because your quality score takes a little time for Google to understand. If you are doing this in a daily basis, Google already knows the quality score. So you're starting to pay. But when you first start, probably you'll end up paying a little more at the beginning. But if your quality score is good, then Google, you're starting to pay less and less.
Do other search engines work the same way?
They all work the same way.
Okay.
So it's like an open bid process, you know, auction. You just have the control of deciding, I want to spend so much per each click, and I want to spend so much a day or so much a week, or you can decide, okay, I want to spend $500 for the campaign. When it's gone, it's gone. So you have full control of how much you want to spend.
But just for that specific sentence, casual shoes for men. So there is another, you can add more words like.
Oh yeah, you can have a list of keywords. Usually you don't just do a campaign with one keyword. You have at least 10. Some people use like 50 keywords. I'm pretty sure a company like Macy's or even Amazon, they probably have a list of keywords because they sell so many different products. But even if you sell only one product, you should have a variety of keywords, like 10 keywords.
But it has to be very specific because that can alter your relevance.
Oh, yes, that's the key. You got it. You got to be as specific as possible. Because if you try to have a keyword that has nothing to do with your business, you are in trouble because Google will know that and say, oh, no, I'm not going to show this ad. It's not relevant. Because again, Google makes the business because we go there to find answers for our questions. So if we starting go to Google and starting to put keywords and we don't get what we want, probably one day we stop going to Google. So Google makes money because he wants to make sure that whatever results he provides to the keywords, those results are relevant to the keywords. That's the number one mission of Google. So that's why I say, okay, it's okay to click on those ads because they must be relevant for what you're looking for. So quality score, it's very important. So you can outrank your other people that's trying to bid higher than you. If you have a better quality score, you're going to outrank them. But before you decide on the keywords, you have to do some keyword research. It's the foundation of SEO and also the foundation of search engine marketing. So every time you select a keyword for that, you're starting to pick a fight because there's more people also bidding on the same keyword. So that's why you need to be specific. So if you're selling shoes for men, again, I think I went over this when we talk about search engine optimization, but this also applies here on search Google, on paid search. If you sell casual shoes for men, don't bid on shoes, because if somebody's looking for shoes for babies, you're not selling that, and you end up paying for clicks, and it's not relevant to your business. So again, as more specific you are, the better results you're going to have. Of course, you look at this, shoes probably has a lot of volume, but the relevance is low, and the competition is high comparing to casual shoes for men. The volume might not be high, but it's very relevant to your ad, and you have less competition because probably less people are using casual shoes for men because it's so specific to your business. You're still going to have competition for sure, but it's probably less than if you put just casual shoes and not specify for men or women or baby or kids. So you're competing with people, they are selling casual shoes for women, for example. And there's no need for you to compete with them because you are selling a different product. So Google has a keyword planner. It's a free tool that you can use. And I'll show you that at the end where the keyword planner is, that you can, it can help you select some keywords. Because once you do a campaign, you say, okay, this is probably the keywords that I want to use. So you go on Google and use those keywords, and then you go on the keyword planner, and I'll show you how that works. And Google gives you some tips, what keywords you should use for that business. So many things, factors on the cost of advertising for your business on Google. So as I mentioned, you only pay when somebody clicks. So impressions, you don't pay for impressions. Impression means when it shows up there. You don't pay for that. So it runs around the clock. And another thing you can do, you can decide when you want your ad to show up. If you only want your ad to show up at night, you set up the time as well. And you can set up, you want to target a specific location. If you want to only target Boston and 25 radius around Boston, you can do that as well. If you want to target all United States, you can do that as well. If you want to target other countries, fine. So you can even do United States and say, okay, but United States less Florida, for example. Imagine that you advertising some alcohol beverage, you know, like wine. And some countries you cannot ship wine. You cannot sell wines online, so you exclude those. So you can do United States, and they say minus Florida, minus California, whatever.
Why would you only target it during certain hours? What would be the reasoning for doing something
I
like
mean,
that?
the only reason would be is this. I mean, in a sense, it would make sense. For example, that you don't have enough budget to run all day, and you say, okay, I look at my ads, I have better conversion. People buy my product when they look at night, because you can see all that on the analytics. When they are searching at night, for some reason, I get more conversions there. I have more people buying. So you say, okay, I don't have enough money to have my ad running all day. So let me just select some times of the day. Because let me explain another reason. A lot of people say, I want to spend like $50 a day. Most people do that, or $100 a day. So it starts at 0 at midnight. And then when whatever money they decide to spend a day expires, the ad doesn't show anymore. So if you decide to run your ad at night, all those people that the money ran out are not competing with you anymore.
Oh, I see. So, like, for instance, you might want to, if you owned a restaurant, you might want to just put it at night. People are looking for a restaurant for dinner or something.
Yeah, for example, yeah, that's a good way of doing it, a restaurant. And the restaurant probably say, okay, I'm not going to target people. So if you have a restaurant in Boston, I'm not going to target people in Rhode Island. I'm just going to go Boston and around Boston.
Okay.
That
Go ahead.
The search is just for Google browser, or that?
Oh, that's for any browser, any
YouTube?
browser. No, any browser.
I mean, that include when you pay for pay-per-click.
Yes.
That goes to YouTube.
Oh, you can do YouTube as well. You can do videos. Yeah, that's one option to do, show your ads on YouTube. So you can even do videos on YouTube using the same. The setup is a little different because it's video, but yes, it shows up on YouTube as well. Yeah, because YouTube is part of Google. So this is an example of a landing page. So the best practice, every time that you do an ad on Google like this, see, this is what I do at university. So we're trying to get leads. So if they click there, they end up here, and we say, okay, if you want to get this brochure, give me your first name, last name, and email, and I'll give you the brochure. And this is a way for you to collect leads. If you have an online store, probably you want to send them exactly to where that product is, like casual shoes for men. You want to send them right there to a specific place. That makes your ad, your campaign relevant. For the university, I tend to create a specific landing page for the campaign. I don't send them to our website because we want to collect leads most of the times. So we create like landing page like this one you see here. So we kind of give them like a teaser. Okay, like you teasing them, get this PDF with information about how you can get, for example, financial aid. And a lot of people, oh, let me see how I can get financial aid. So they give you the first name, last name, and email. Then you got that information, you can start marketing them through email marketing or some other ways. It's a good way to collect leads. So I'll talk about metrics later on once we finish later on. I mean, not today. I'm talking towards the end of the semester. After we do social media and also email marketing. I'll talk about all the metrics. Just to keep in mind some metrics here. Number of impressions. So every time that your ad shows up, somebody searching, your ad shows up, it's called an impression. So that would be one impression. So if your ad shows up 100 times, that's 100 impressions. Again, you're not paying for that, for impression. You don't pay for impressions. You only pay when somebody clicks. Click-through rate is, as I said, if you have a 100 impression and only 10 people click, you divide 100 by 10, you get like 10% of click-through rate. Conversion rate, that's a little different. That's a metric that if you click, you end up on the landing page. And if you sell in that product, if somebody buys the product, let's say 100 people goes to the landing page and only 10 people buy. So your conversion rate is 10%. So conversion rate depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to sell a product, that's your conversion rate. If your goal is to generate leads, like the landing page I showed you in a few minutes ago, every time you generate a lead, you collect a lead, that's your conversion rate. So this is, sorry, let me go back here. This is the cost per click. As I mentioned, you select how much you want to spend, the maximum you want to spend per each click, but then you see what's the average cost per click for that campaign. That's the cost per conversion. So you say, okay, I've spent $1,000 for this campaign, and I sold 100 products. So your cost per conversion, you divide 1,000 by 100, will be 100. I mean, that will be $100 per conversion. But I'll cover the metrics later on. This is just for you to give you an idea, because this tells you how your campaign is going.
Yeah, but where do you get that information? Does Google give it to you?
Oh yeah, if you set up, I'll show you that information. You don't see that on Google Analytics. Google Analytics will give you some information, but that's when you create a campaign. Google gives you all that information, and I'll show you later.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll show you how to create a campaign. Actually, I have a nice video that goes to the steps to create a campaign. Then I'll open a campaign that I'm using for Tufts University. Then I'll show you exactly how the campaign runs, all those metrics, how you can get all those metrics here. So one thing that once you start a campaign, there is a way for you to do some research. So search for keywords on Google. Take down, some ads appear, just take down this is some tips how you create a campaign if you don't know how to start. So let's say you do casual shoes for men and you want to start advertising for and bid on that keyword. Put that keyword on Google and see what ads appear, how those ads they look like. So you take some notes to see, oh, this is interesting. Probably you don't have to copy, but give you some inspiration to create your own ad, your own copy there. Then you click. Don't be afraid to click on your competitors to see how their landing page looks like, to see if they're better than yours, and probably you can get some ideas of their landing pages. When you click, you know that your competitor is paying money for that, but it's not your problem because they're going to do on your ad anyways. A competitor starting to see how the campaign runs, put the keywords there, see your ad. Oh, let me see what this guy is doing. Clicks on your ad, and you end up paying for that. Hopefully, you don't pay a lot, but that's the way it is.
What about if my competition pays someone to click, to make me spend all the money for my campaign with people clicking, just clicking?
That can happen. That can happen. But Google has a way to detect that. And when that happens, Google usually gives you credit. When they see somebody, like imagine that somebody is clicking your ad like every 2 minutes. Google has a way to detect that. And the next day you go there and you go, oh my God, I spent all this money and didn't get any sales. But Google, you don't have to even do anything because Google, a few days later, will send you a credit. Say, okay, I saw some strange activity on your ad. Here's your credit. Because they don't want to lose you. And they know when a competitor is trying to screw you. I'm sorry, but that's the word. Okay, so take note of this website here, because this is when you can go and check your competitors to see what keywords they are using. It's a free tool, and you can get a lot of information. Of course, they have a paid version that will give you a lot more information. But spyfoo.com, and then you put the URL of your competitors there, and then you get some information about the keywords that they are bidding on and what's an average how much they are spending. So it gives you an idea what your competitors are doing. So you got to define your success. So you got to decide what your goal is. You know, I put this in bold because most of the times myself, I use lead generation. Very seldom I use brand awareness, because you're not selling anything here. All you're saying, okay, send people to your website for them to know you. Of course, this is good if you launch your website and nobody knows about your website and your SEO is not working yet for you. So then you do some brand awareness. Okay, so I'm going to spend like $500, $1,000 to just have people go to my website and starting to know who I am. So I'm going to show you a little clip of what type of campaign is good for you. Just, I'm going to make sure that, oops. Tell me if you can hear the sound on this. Can you hear the sound?
No.
No,
I can't hear nothing.
I need to do something here. Share computer sound. Yeah, I always forget to do that. Can you hear now?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Henry, Maria, and Ted are three very happy AdWords advertisers who have gotten very good at answering one important question. Which campaign type is right for me? Well, there's no one-size-fits-all in AdWords. What works for one person may not work for another. So to help you figure out what's best for your business, let's start by looking at some of the options available to you. Campaign type determines things like where your ads can show to customers and what format they can be in, like text or video. Your ads can show on one or both of Google's advertising networks, depending on the campaign type you choose. These networks make up all of the places where your ads can appear, whether on desktops, tablets, or mobile devices. There's the search network, which shows ads when users search on Google and on other search websites that partner with Google to show ads. And there's the display network, where ads appear on millions of popular websites, mobile apps, videos, and more with content related to your targeting. As you'll see with Henry, Maria, and Ted, you can pick a campaign type that uses just one of these networks or both networks with the search network with display select campaign type. Next, you'll choose a campaign subtype. The most common options, standard and all features, let you determine how many settings you want to choose from for your campaign. If you want to accomplish a specific goal with your ads, like driving more installs of your mobile app, you can choose a specific campaign subtype to meet your needs. In general, the standard subtype is best if you're new to AdWords or just want to get your campaign set up quickly without a lot of additional options. The All Features choice is best if you're a daily AdWords user and want to be able to mix and match different AdWords features, like scheduling your ads to run at certain times and targeting ads to specific locations or websites. Now, let's tie it all together with a few examples. Ted runs a thriving travel agency and is still pretty new to AdWords. So when he created a campaign to promote his tour packages, he chose the recommended settings for all new campaigns, Search Network with Display Select. This campaign type is great for Ted because it helps him reach the largest possible audience by showing his ads on both the search and display networks with the least amount of setup. To make things even simpler, Ted picks the standard subtype because he knows he doesn't need a lot of flexibility for his campaign. Here's Henry the Handyman. Henry is an experienced advertiser. So when he sets up a new campaign to promote his roofing repair service, he chose a search network only campaign with the all features subtype. This type of campaign is right for his business because it helps him reach new customers right when they're searching for a handyman. But his home repair service isn't open 24/7, so he selected the all features subtype to get access to tools that let him schedule his ads to only show during business hours. Maria is in a different situation. She wants more people to know about her store, but not just any customers, the right customers for what she sells. Maria decides that a display network only campaign is what she needs. This campaign type lets her reach customers wherever they are online, whether that's browsing websites, watching YouTube videos, or using mobile apps. And the targeting options in a display network only campaign let her show her ads to just the right audience. For a complete comparison of all the different campaign types and subtypes available.
Okay, this is just an example of different ads. I usually do text ads. Sometimes I do display, but most times for Google AdWords, if you want to start, I would suggest that you start just with the text advertising, not display.
Can you do, looking at that last one, can you target ads just for women? Say you're
Yes.
selling women's
Yeah,
clothes?
that's if you're doing display, yes, you can target just for women. Yeah.
What about targeting the audience of my competition? Like putting apps on their you know, when, for example, you're watching a program, you know, your competition, and you want your app to be, you know, on those Google's videos after when they take a break. Can you schedule that?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
You know, when you're watching a YouTube video,
Yes.
and then the advertising comes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that because I want to put my ad where my competition is.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah, there is a way to do, if you do video ads on YouTube, yes, there is a way for you to specify where you want your ads is. So you got to see the industry that you want your ads to go to. There is a way to do that, you know, because YouTube gives you more flexibility than just the Google search ads. But, you know, it's possible to do that, yes. Because see, you can do demographics, age, language, so there is quite a few things that you can do. So you can also say, okay, I only my ads to show on mobile devices, or only on desktop, or both. You can make that call as well. So this is another ad that shows how to select keywords.
Mary runs a large online shoe store that sells a variety of shoes. She created an AdWords campaign when she launched her new website. The campaign brought people to her site, but her sales haven't increased as much as she hoped. Let's see how Mary learned to use the right keywords to attract actual customers. Keywords are words or phrases that match ads with a customer's search. When Mary first opened her business, she wanted to create a buzz about her store and bring as many people to her site as possible. So she used very general keywords like shoes and sneakers. This worked well and her ads got lots of clicks, but she wasn't selling a lot of shoes. Here's how Mary was able to get the right people to her site and turn those clicks into customers. Tip 1. Think like a customer. First, Mary tries to imagine what her customers would search for. She writes down all the categories of shoes she sells. Then, she thinks of specific search words for each category. Doing this makes it easy for her to come up with the right keywords to attract customers looking for the shoes she actually sells. Tip 2. Organize by theme. Mary learned to group her ads by themes. She creates different themes for the different types of shoes she sells. For example, she creates an ad campaign around the broad theme of women's boots. She then creates different ads and keywords for rain boots, high fashion boots, and booties. By doing this, Mary reaches the right customers and keeps her account organized. Tip 3. Be specific. Mary wants to promote her sale on men's basketball shoes. If she uses a general keyword like basketball, she could get irrelevant matches of people looking for basketball scores or basketball videos. To promote her sale, she adds discount men's basketball shoes and men's basketball shoes sale. She even includes her sale price in the ad. When using such specific keywords, the more the merrier. Successful advertisers choose 5 to 20 keywords per ad group. Tip 4. Use negative keywords. Negative keywords ensure your ads don't show to the wrong people. Mary doesn't sell children's shoes, so she adds children and kids to her negative keyword list. This way, Mary can be sure she isn't paying for ad clicks on a product she doesn't sell. Tip 5. Use the keyword planner. Think of the keyword planner like a workshop for building new ad campaigns or improving existing ones. Mary uses the keyword planner to come up with new ideas for effective keywords. The keyword planner also helps her estimate the number of clicks she would get for her new keywords. Once Mary adds her keywords, she can check to see how they're performing in the Keywords tab. That way, she can increase her bids on keywords that perform well to help improve her ad's position and get her ad in front of more customers. By following these tips, Mary was able to increase her sales by getting her ads in front of the right customers who clicked on her ads and bought shoes from her site. For more ideas on how to use the right keywords to boost your AdWords success, visit the AdWords Help Center.
Okay, one thing that I didn't mention is negative keywords. That's another important thing there. Because exactly, if you don't sell shoes for kids, then you can see also on the back end when you do advertising, what are the search terms people are using to get to your ad. So if you see some search terms like shoes for kids and your ad is appearing, so you should go and say, okay, I want to make kids a negative keyword. So every time somebody types kids, your ad doesn't show. It's one way for you to make your ad more relevant, more specific, and not spending money for keywords that are not relevant to your business.
What about if you want to be related to some specific words? I can call it positive words, like you want to relay your product or service or image to a specific, let's say it in the politics aspect. The politician want to be in some way related to an image of a good politician.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that?
I mean, you can, but again, you have to make sure that your page, your landing page, where you send in people after they click your ad, that also reflects that keyword. There is some relevance to that keyword. Because if it's not, then you're in trouble. So one thing that you cannot do is try to use keywords just to fish people to go to your website. Another thing that people do, and it works, let's say, if somebody's looking for Macy's, for example, you can beat a keyword if you're selling things like shoes, like Macy's shoes. So you can use that keyword Macy's. As long as your website is relevant to that keyword, that's fine, because sometimes people use competitors' name as a keyword for them to show. But you have to make sure that when they arrive there, it's relevant to the keyword. So I don't know if that's what you're looking for, the question, the answer.
Well, I know my question is, the targeting is not a specific product, a physical product.
It's more like politicians, no?
Yeah, it's more in terms of selling an image.
Yeah. So, for example, what would be the keyword that you want to do? And
for example, I have a friend. He's running for to be a candidate for to be a mayor.
mm-hmm.
It's an example.
Okay.
But you know that the psyche is sometimes of people, you know how the collective psychological things work sometimes.
Yeah, yes,
Marketing
psychographic, yeah.
about that, yeah. So what about if I relay his image in a search with John F. Kennedy?
Yeah.
Even they are not related, but people make that connection. Why, when I look for this guy, always come John F. Kennedy on this side, or some a politician with a more positive, you know, name. What I'm trying to relay here is the psychological concept of this product is related to this image.
Mm-hmm.
As a person.
I mean, you can do that, but you know, you got to think how you got to think how the customers, I mean, in this case, the public will think when they're looking for something. So do you think they will be looking like politicians like John Kennedy? If they are using that keyword and you want to show up, then yes, you can do something like that. But you think, for example, anybody will be looking, it all depends on your keyword research. If you find there is a keyword that has volume and it's some sort of image of your competitor in politics, yeah, maybe you can, it's a good idea to use that. If you can find a way to put that on the text on your landing page, that would make sense to make your landing page relevant to the keyword.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So again, you only pay when somebody clicks. So this is, I'm going to talk about the structure of a campaign. Then I'll show you in a minute how you create one. So when you create an AdWords account, you can create one account. That's your account. Then you're going to do a campaign. You can create as many campaigns as you want. Then and each campaign, there is ad groups. So campaign 1, ad group 1B, and then the third level would be the ads and keywords. So this is the structure, but let me show you a little bit that probably you understand. So for example, in this case, this is a company called Clothing Store. So the account is this. Then he says, okay, I'm going to create a campaign to sell jackets. Okay, it creates a campaign to sell jackets. Here, okay, I'm going to create a campaign also to sell shoes, because these are two different items. So you should create a different campaign for shoes, not the same campaign. So then you say, okay, because here you set up on this level, that's where you set up where you want to your ad. You set up the target audience. You also set up how much you want to spend at this level. So you might want to spend more here than here, because this is where you decide how much you're going to spend per day, not per keywords, but per day. And what's the total that you want to spend for your campaign? So you might just say, I want to spend $100 a day, and you have no limit. But you can say, okay, I want to start today or tomorrow, and I want to add my campaign at the end of the month, a specific day and hour. You set up there. So at this level, you set up the target audience, the location, and how much you want to spend. And you give the ad a name. Then you go to the ad group. You can create as many ad groups you want. In this case, the ad group is where you set up the keywords. So the North Face jackets probably has different keywords. That's why you create a different ad group, because if North Face, for example, you only have North Face usually has like jackets for winter, so probably the keywords will be all related to winter jackets. And this Patagonia, I don't know what they sell, but imagine they sell jackets, but summer jackets or fall jackets. So the keywords will be different. So that's why you have to create two campaigns, because keywords are different from each ad group. The same here. Campaign for shoes, but then you say, okay, I want to sell men's shoes. So I got to create an ad group with the keywords that's just related to men's shoes. Another ad groups for women's shoes, keywords, and then you create different ads. You can create as many ads as you want. Usually I create 2 ads and see which one for each ad group and see which one is performing better. Then I pause one and the other one that's performing better. But this is the way you structure your campaign. Any questions on this?
Do you have some templates for?
Oh yes, actually I do have a template. I can send you a template.
Okay.
So when you create an ad, this is the things that you have to put in place. So the ad has like 3 headlines. Actually, they call it 3 headlines, but this is headline 1, separated by this, headline 2, headline 3. And then 2 descriptions. So the first description go all the way here, and the second, it's almost a continuation. I don't know why they did it this way, but that's okay. Then they have the display URL. The display URL is what shows on the ad. So for example, here, this will be headline 1, headline 2, and headline 3. Headline 1, headline 2, headline 3. And then the description, 90 characters. So it will be the first one will end here. The second one will end here. And these are what we call extensions. I'm not going to cover this today. Then the display URL, that's this place here, what shows. So the keywords I already said that you have to be specific. So most keywords, the length of keywords, some people, when people search, usually they search like they don't search just from one keyword, one word. They usually do 2, 3. So 29% of people searching on the internet uses 2 words. 22% uses 3 words. 4 words, a little less. 1 word, only 6%. So 94% of people search on the internet use multiple word phrases, and only 6% uses 1 keyword, like shoes. Only 6% do that, because most of us use like a combination of 2, 3 words, or 4 maybe, tops. Then let's talk about something else here. There is 3 ways of selecting keywords. So let's say that you want casual shoes for men, your keyword. You can have that loose, as we call broad match. You say, oh, this is going to be broad match. And broad match, the ads will show to people that are searching for things that are related to your keywords. Even though you say casual shoes for men, your ad might show up on people searching leather shoes for men because it's related. So you're going to get, it's like a loose matching. It's not a perfect matching, but you get a lot more clicks, but maybe you're spending more money and it's not that specific. Now, if you want to be more specific, use phrase match. So this is the way you put phrase match. When you list the keywords, you have to put quotation marks. So this is called phrase match. So your ad includes any keyword that has the same meaning of your keyword, even if it's a little different. Like your keyword is casual shoes for men, and the meaning is on the keyword. So casual shoes for men near me, your ad show up there. Casual footwear for men, because it's the same, footwear or shoes is the same, and this is probably the same. On sale, your ads will show. Yeah, it's like a moderate match. It's not as loose as that one, a little more specific than that one. It's called the phrase match. Then if you want your ad only to show to people that are looking for casual shoes for men or something that means the same, like this, casual shoes for men or casual shoes for people searching for this keywords, your ad only shows for people searching for keywords like this. Will never show if somebody searches for casual shoes for men near me, your ad doesn't show. So I usually use this part here. Sometimes I have 1 or 2 keywords, this. Very seldom I use this because this is too specific and probably I'm losing some people that are searching. But sometimes I do use this if it's a very specific thing that I want to do. It's called a tight match. So these are the 3 types when you select keyword, then you got to decide. I want people when they search for something that has the same meaning or something that is very specific. Then you make that call when you select what type of keyword you want to use. So let me go step by step instruction how to set up a Google search campaign.
In this video, you're going to learn exactly how to set up your first Google ad step by step. So let's dive right in and create our first Google Ads campaign. First, we're going to click on Switch to Expert Mode so that we get full control over our new campaign. Then Google wants to give us some guidance by asking for our campaign goal. However, we're going to click on Create a campaign without a goals guidance. By choosing this option, we keep full control over our campaign. Then we have to select a campaign type. In this video, we're going to create a search campaign using simple text ads. Those are the kind of ads you see when you search for something on Google. Later in the video, we'll define exactly what search keywords we want our ads to show up for. Now we can determine what should happen when somebody clicks on our ad. As an example for this video, we're going to create ads for an online store selling standing desks. So we want to get new visitors to our website. So we're going to type in the URL of our online store. Then let's click continue. Now we have to define our general campaign settings that will apply to all of the ads inside of our new campaign. So let's give our campaign a name that reflects exactly what we are advertising. Then on the next step, we want to make sure to deselect display networks. This is really important so you don't waste money on useless clicks. You can leave the search network enabled if you want to, but I like to turn it off in the beginning so my ads only show up on the standard Google search engine. Then we're going to click on Show More Settings. Here you can define a start and end date for your campaign. So if you don't plan on regularly checking your Google Ads account, I recommend to set an end date so Google doesn't keep charging your credit card if you forget to turn off your ads. If you only want your ads to show up at a specific time during the day, you can define your ad schedule here. Now let's move on to targeting and audiences. You want to make sure that your ads will only be seen by people who are your ideal customers. So let's click on Advanced Search to define the locations that we want to target. You can go really broad here or really narrow depending on your target audience. Let's say we ship our products only to the US, so we're just going to select United States and then click Save. Then we're going to click on Location Options and change the target from Presence or Interest to Presence. This will make sure that our ads will only be shown to people who are actually physically located in the United States. For languages, we're just going to select the language of our customers, which in our example is English. We're going to skip the audience tab because we don't have any audiences yet that we can remarket to. So let's move on to budget and bidding. First, we have to decide on the currency that we want to use to pay for our advertising cost. Then we have to decide on our average daily budget. So let's put our daily budget to $10. This will tell Google that they're not allowed to spend more than $300 per month on this campaign. 30 days in a month times $10 average daily budget. Google will then try to figure out the best times to show our ads, so sometimes it might spend more than $10 in one day and sometimes it will be less than $10. But with the average daily budget at $10, we will make sure to not spend more than $300 in 1 month. Of course, later on we can always come back to this campaign and change all the settings. Now let's look at bidding. Those settings will define how much you're willing to pay for one click on your ad and also your bidding strategy. If you want to know exactly how the Google Ads bidding system works, I highly recommend to watch my detailed Google Ads tutorial where I go a lot more in depth. I'll leave a link to that video down below in the video description. To start off this campaign, we're going to leave the focus on clicks and set our maximum cost per click bid limit to $1. I also recommend to set up conversion tracking using Google Analytics, so later you can change your bidding strategy to maximize your conversions. I'll leave a tutorial in the video description that'll show you exactly how to set up conversion tracking using Google Analytics. Then let's move on to ad extensions. Ad extensions are very useful because they make your ad larger in size, so it takes up more space in the Google search results. This usually results in a higher click-through rate, which also increases the quality score of your ad. Having a high quality score lowers the price that you have to pay for each click, so we definitely want to use ad extensions. For this campaign, we're going to add 4 site link extensions that lead to different pages on our online store. We're also going to add some callout extensions. Google will not always show all of your extensions, but you still should add them because if they are shown, it will increase your click-through rate because it takes up more real estate on Google. So let's now click on Save and Continue and move on to the next step. Now we are at the ad group level where we can define the search terms, also called keywords, that we want our ads to show up for. I recommend to dedicate one ad group to one keyword group so that we can make our ads as relevant as possible for our keywords. This strategy will make sure that we get the highest quality score possible so we get the best place on Google and pay as little as possible for our clicks. So for example, in the first ad group, we're going to target the keyword standing desk. So that's what we're going to call our ad group. And then we're going to define our keyword match types. The keyword match types define what combination of our keyword group standing desk will trigger our ad. First, we're going to use the exact match by putting brackets around our keyword so that whenever somebody exactly types in standing desk, our ad can show up. Then we're also going to use the phrase match by putting quotation marks around our keyword. That way, whenever somebody types in a phrase including our keyword standing desk, our ad can also show up. And then we're also going to use the so-called modified broad match so that our ad will also show up when people use the word standing and the word desk in the phrase that they type in the search bar. If you want to learn more about keyword match types, then check out my complete Google Ads tutorial. You'll find the link in the video description below. Now we are done setting up our first ad group, so we can also start another ad group for a different keyword. Let's now go for the keyword height adjustable desk. And we're going to use the same match types like before, but now apply to the keyword height adjustable desk. You can continue this process until you've created ad groups for all the main keywords that you'd like to target. However, later on you can always come back and add more ad groups and keywords. Once finished, we're going to click on Save and Continue. So now we are at the ad level of our campaign, so this is where we create the actual ads for our ad groups. The ads that we're going to create here is exactly what people will see when they type in our targeted keywords that we have just defined. So let's create our first ad for the keyword and ad group standing desk. We're going to add 3 headlines to our ad, and we're going to make sure to include our keyword standing desk to make sure our ad is as relevant as possible to our target search term. The display path is what's shown to people when they see the ad, but it's not where people will go when they actually click on the ad. So we can also use this path to make our ad more relevant to our keyword. So we're just going to type in standing-desk. Then for the ad description, we're also going to use our keyword once or twice, and we make sure to use up as many characters as we can. That's because we want our ad to take up as much real estate as possible to boost our click-through rate. On the right side of the screen, you can also see a preview of what your ad currently looks like on mobile and on desktop. You can now create more ads for the same keyword by clicking on Done and Create Next Ad. I recommend to create 3 different ads per ad group to find the ad that works the best for your specific keyword. Then you can move on to the next ad group, which in our example campaign here would be to create 3 different ads for the keyword height adjustable desk. Once you're done creating all the ads for your ad groups, click Save and Continue. Google will now review your ads and activate them if everything is set up correctly. If you want to see a more in-depth video on Google Ads, then make sure to watch my complete Google Ads tutorial that you see on screen now. Also, if you found this video helpful, I really appreciate if you'd click that thumbs up button below the video. That would really help me out a lot. In this video, you're going to learn.
Okay, this video is a little old because as you saw the 3 types of keywords, one is phrase match, the other one is exact match, and then it talked about broad match modifier. That's gone. Now use this, it calls just a broad match, which the way I showed you. The broad match modifier that has like a plus sign, Google doesn't use that. That's gone. That was something that they discontinued, I would say 3-4 months ago. So that's all. Any questions on this? Okay, so let me go now. I'll show you an advertising that I'm using. Every time that I'm on Zoom, it takes forever to load. I hope it loads. Okay. I'm going to change this. Oh, this is the. I'm going to change. Let me call this here. Okay, see here. This is the campaigns that we have. I'm going to go back here. I apologize, this is taking forever to load, but I just want to show you, I don't know, ask where you get all the information about the metrics. It's here. So you got impressions of our average cost, conversion, cost per conversion, clicks, click-through rate. So all that information you'll get right here. Unfortunately, this is because it's not responding properly because I'm on Zoom. Okay, any questions on this? I guess not. Okay, if there's no questions, this is all I had for today. And I'll see you a week next Friday.
All right. Have a good evening.
Good evening.
Have a
Okay.
nice weekend, everybody.
Okay, bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. And
Thank you.
Professor, can you put the record like for tonight?
Sorry?
Can you put the record for our class? Like,
Oh yeah, I'll try
last
to do it
week?
tonight. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Professor, I need to make up, some lost time. And I haven't
Oh,
been-
okay, okay. Let me see if you still, because I think they're still open. If you find that any assignment is not open, let me know and I'll open for you.
Please, thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, have a nice week.
Okay.